All right, guys, we're going to do the NRG Stadium. It's going to be a little bit different than the previous build. We're going to actually build the floor. This includes the goalposts and everything in the middle. We're going to build that on a separate um, sketch. All right, so we got the semicircle around the field, or the center field. We're going to do the field. It's going to be a 10 by 4. Make sure you're in inches. 10 by 4. And we're going to extrude that by 3 inches. All right, so we're going to go select the sketch, extrude, and we're going to go about 3 inches on the height. Let's go 4 inches. All right. All right, so now we're going to do a corner rectangle, and we're going to extrude remove the center of the stadium. And we're just going to get it close. We're not going to measure it. You can if you want to be exact, if you want to make sure this is 100% centered, but I'm not going to. You can if you want. All right. So we're going to extrude, and we're going to remove and go all the way through, and we're going to go the opposite direction. Let's go remove. There we go. And click OK. All right, so this is going to be the center of the field, and we're going to build the stadium seating, and all that stuff is going to be separate. Okay, so want to make sure we label our tabs at the bottom. So you right click, and we're going to label this center field, something like that. Okay. All right, so we've got the 2 semicircles that kind of stick out on the sides, and that is basically you know, the concession stands and you know, gift shops, stuff like that. And that's the same on both sides. And then we have the staircases that are on both sides, and actually 4 corners. And then we have kind of looks like elevators that are on the edge, corner edge of each side of the field. All right, so we're going to build the corner. The 4 corners of the field have this structure that kind of looks like this, and we're going to extrude that. Well, the height we chose was 3 of the field, so we're going to make this. We're going to make these structures go up about 2.6, so they're not going to be same height as the field. Oh, and we're going to go 1 by 1. So 1 inch wide, 1 inch length, and we are going to fit that onto the side. And if you look at the picture, if I can glance at the picture, I can show you. So those are going to go. You see the 4 corners, the edges. You've got the those structures right there, and then we got the semicircle in the middle on each side. So I guess those are elevators. I'm not sure. All right, so this is going to be the left and right. You may want to create a separate left and a separate right, because the left has different windows and different setup. So you may want to duplicate what we're doing here, and then just label it as the right side, left side. All right, so we're going to do a 3-point arc, and we're going to bring that out, and we're going to cut that rectangle in half by drawing a line through it. And there we go. Escape to let go of the line, and we're going to get our scissors, and we're going to cut away at some of the stuff and take away those lines. There we go. And those little jagged lines on the end, we're going to get rid of that. And that one. So we're going to extrude that also 2.6. We're going to go 2.6 because if you look at the picture, it doesn't. These two sides do not go all the way to the top of NRG Stadium. So we're going to go 2.6, and there you go. Turn off the plane so you can get a clear look at it. So that's it, and we're going to shell those out in the end, and we're going to cut some windows into them. So I just cut 3 columns of windows. You can see there's obviously more than 3 columns, but you can add. You'll see the fundamentals on how I do the windows, and you can add more windows if you want. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's see. All right, stadium seating. This is the fun part, and it does get kind of complex. So follow along. Do a split screen if you want to. All right, so we know that it's we're going to make the center field just a little bit wider and a little bit longer than our floor, because we're going to fit the stadium seating in there. So we want we're going to want the side to be we'll fix it later. 10.2 and then 4.2 on the width, just to give it 0.2 of an inch to fit the all the stadium seating in there. So we're gonna make this 9.98. I mean, we can either way. You can increase the. We're gonna make this 2.98. Either way, you can do it this way. You can make the floor just a little bit, 0.02 of an inch, or you can make the center field, 0.2 of an inch wider. So that's 10 by 4, and so we went 3.98 by 9.98. Okay, all right. All right. So we are going to just put 0.05 on the thickness. Just give it just barely thick enough to not cave in. And we're going to do a corner rectangle, and we are going to use the mirror method to repeat that on the other side of the stadium. And actually, so you're supposed to pick the axis first, and I got to watch what I'm doing. Start over. So you got to pick the axis first. There it is, and then you pick the entities to mirror, and so you get an exact copy on the other side of the center line. All right, so then we're going to do. So this is the first level of the seating, and we know that it's kind of it kind of looks like an oval shaped. So the center, it bows out at the center, and we're just going to use a 3-point arc to kind of bow it out. Yeah, there is an entire career field for people that can build large buildings in AutoCAD, and it's called architecture. Okay, so this is kind of like an intro to architecture, where we're learning how to, draw up a concept, but in this case, it's an actual stadium. All right, so we got to use the scissors, snipping tool, and take away those lines. This makes it easier to extrude. And also, we're going to do the edges. All right, so we have to draw a little box in the bottom there, end zone seating. Bring it as close to the edge as possible. And do your scissors. All right. All right. Okay, so all right, there we go. So we're going to extrude this, and we're going to use a function we haven't used before. It's called the chamfer. So we know that fillet is kind of a rounded off edge. Well, we're going to make a straight edge. So if you look at stadium seating, it kind of tapers down to the center of the field, and so that's what we're going to try to do. So we're going to select the edges. We don't want that too thick. So this is the first level of seating. And we're going to click on the edges, and we're going to use chamfer to taper it down toward the football field. All right, so we got that done, and we're going to go up. Chamfer is right next to fillet, and there it is. And so if you do a isometric view, which is the angle view, you're going to see kind of the angle that it goes at. And we're going to go distance and angle on the drop-down menu, and we're going to keep it at 45. And we're just going to go start entering numbers and get it as close as we can. And then we'll you can mess with the angle. I think 55 is as high as you want to go. You can see that 65, a little bit too much. 55 might do good. So there you go. All right, so then you can take away the edges if you want, but actually I think you might want to keep the edges on there potentially. So yeah, I think having the edges might actually look better. All right, so now we're going to bring the bottom up a little bit. So we're going to not do that. We're going to grab the center of that and drag the center up, and drag it up further, and then you readjust the corners there. Okay, it's a little bit better. All right, that's a little bit better, so it's not going outside the stadium. So there is the first level of seating. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create another plane. And we drew this sketch up on the top plane. So our entity is going to be the top plane, and we're going to create another plane above. So we're going to go blue, then red. We're just going to do 2 rows of seating. And you can hold on to the arrow and draw it backwards and forwards. You can kind of adjust that, but you want, and we're going to name this middle or second level, and you want a little bit of distance in between each seating level, because when you walk out to your seat, there's at least 10 feet of space in between where the doors go out to concession stands, stuff like that. So you don't want the levels right on top of each other. You want them slightly elevated above each other. Then the third row is up there with the pigeons where they're sitting in the rafters, and those are basically on the end zones in the corners a little bit. So if you want to do a third plane, all right. So we're going to do. Okay, we clicked on the second level seating plane, and we're going to draw in our corner rectangles, and we're going to do the mirror method and unhide our middle plane there, and we're just going to click on those, and it's going to repeat the same thing on the other side of the stadium, and then we have to do the end zone seating on the second level, and keep it inside the measurement of the first level seating. And then you're going to go in with your scissors, and and this is one thing I forget to do, is I forget to do the curved front of the seating, and I will remember here in a few seconds, but I'm narrating on a video that I produced this morning. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so we do have to get the 3-point. Okay, so we're going to fix the extrusion. We don't want it too thick. Eventually we're going to go in there and color each one of them. The first level seating is blue, second is red, and then you got, I think you got one blue and then two red. Alright, so the 3-point arc, we're going to do a little curvature on this, bring it in, and then find our scissors and cut away at that, and then do the same thing on the other side. Alright. There you go. Alright, so now we're going to do the chamfer on that, and we're going to hide all the other stuff, and when you hide it, you can see what's going on, but you want to also make sure that you unhide it, take a glance, and make sure that it's the proper distance. So we're going to chamfer that, and we're going to do the side view, the isometric view, and we're going to do angle, or distance and angle, and then just kind of work it down to where it slowly meets the bottom, and you just have to type in a larger number and then slowly go larger, and then eventually you'll reach the edge. Then you can mess with the angle if you want, 45, 55, 65. I think 65 is too much. So theoretically, you want to make this to where when you're looking straight down from the top of the stadium, you should be able to see. The first thing you're going to see on the inner side is the first level of seating, then your second level of seating. So you can see the first level, second level, and they do kind of blend into each other. So you can see I don't have really the same shape on that. So I tried. All right, so we're going to go red. So we're going to click the different chamfers, right click, and we're going to go red on that. Or, oh, I'm sorry. That's the first. We're going to go blue, then red. Yeah, blue then red. Okay. And if you want to take the easy shortcut, you can pay $150 and you get the full extrusion of the stadium. Okay. All right. Ugh. And you want that red. So blue then red. There we go. All right. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to create some goalposts, and this is kind of the tricky high level of skill on this one. So what we want to do is we want to unhide all the planes and figure out what intersects the field. Because we know we drew this on the top field. We want to know, and you can go in there and kind of adjust to make more of the blue visible. Okay. Right. So we are going to create a top that you can actually close and open. So we'll do kind of like the same motion concept that we did with the doggy wheelchair, where we hold onto the wheel and you can spin it. We're going to do the same thing, but this is going to be, instead of spin, we are going to slide it back and forth. The top of the roof is going to be able to slide back and forth. And so we're prototyping. Now this is what it's all about. You want to see if the roof, in theory, works in a prototype before you spend $1 billion to build the Texan Stadium. So obviously you're going to want more detail on your stadium than we're doing. All right, so we know that the front intersects the oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking and I'm working at the same time. So we created another plane and we made it, the entity is front plane, and we're going to drag the arrow to where the goalpost is, and we're going to name this end zone, and then we'll name the other one end zone number 2. All right, so we are going to draw a goalpost on the end zone plane that we just created, and we're going to hide the front and right. All right, let's see. So there's the end zone, and we're going to, the first thing is we're going to make our goalpost is going to be way too big, and we're going to have to go back and fix it. So it's going to be, the goalpost is going to end up being like almost the size of the stadium. So you'll see how it'll be kind of funny, and then we're just basically going to come back and make it like 0.2 of an inch tall, and then it'll look more suitable for this size of a football stadium. All right, so we're going to extrude it a little bit. Not going to go crazy. We're just going to just trying to create the image of a goalpost, and you're going to laugh when you see this because the goalpost is going to be all the way to the very top. All right, so we're going to want to go back and fix that, obviously. So we're going to right click, sketch 4, go back and edit, and we're just going to, okay, we're going to hide the stadium just temporarily, and we're going to go do our dimension tool, and we're going to I think the best thing is to just adjust the height. You know, I think you know, we're not going for, if you want to go exact and get a screenshot of a goalpost. So I think 0.02, I think that's what we decided. Okay. All right, so it shrunk it down to a more appropriate size, and there's your goalpost. And the extrusion kind of looks bad, so we're going to make it a little bit skinnier on the extrusion. So go back to extrusion, right click, and edit. And we're going to draw back a little bit, just so it doesn't look crazy. And we could mirror that. We'd have to create, or no, open up one of the planes, but I wasn't smart enough to think about that, and I just went ahead and drew another goalpost. So I did it the hard way. All right, so we're going to make a plane for other end zone, and the entity is going to be the front front plane, and we're going to go find the arrow, draw the arrow back until you get it to intersect the end zone, and you'll see it. Bring it back a little bit, bring it back the other way. Alright, so this is going to be the end zone, and we're going to do the same thing. Now we have the benefit of knowledge that our sketch was way too big. So now we got 3 planes, and see, so the other end zone is my other plane. So I'm going to sketch, and I can go over to the left hand side and select other end zone plane if I want to. We're going to make the end zone, the first end zone plane, disappear, and we're going to just get it down to the end zone, other end zone plane, and we're going to draw a goalpost on that. And I think I successfully learned from my mistake, and I will measure this out correctly. So you want to make sure the bottom of your goalpost is on the same level as the point of origin. That way you know that the bottom of your floor you created is going to be touching the bottom of the goalpost. Alright, so click OK, and we're going to extrude that. Did I forget to measure that? Probably. Alright, so I've got to bring that back. Alright. Yeah, I forgot to dimension that thing. Go back and fix it. A little bit too big of a goalpost. Alright. Not that one. It's the wrong goalpost. It's easier if you hide your part 1, 2, and 3, so you can get in there and measure that. It's a 0.2. There you go. And bring back all of the missing parts there. There you go. All right, so there's the center of your football field, and you can select that and turn it green. I think I forget to. Then you can actually draw on some lines. Import a picture of a yard markers, and that might look a lot better than just a green field. Alright, so we've got our parts created. We have our stadium seating collected. We're going to do our assembly. We're going to bring in the center field, the 4 corners. So bring in 4 of those. And bring in 2 sides, the semicircle sides, or we'll call those the concession sides, and gift shop, and your stadium seating. All right, so now we have to snap this all together, and this is the fun part. So we're going to find the bottom center of the center field walls. We're going to go fasten, and we're going to go in and find the center somewhere. Make sure you get the right one. That looks like it's about right. And then we're going to flip it around, and we're going to find the center of that. And remember, we're not doing the center of the stadium seats. We're doing the center of that really thin floor. So you really got to zoom in and find it. This one's going to be a little bit challenging. It's there though. That might be it. Make sure you get the right one though. Alright, so that's it. That's my stadium floor. Stadium seating with the walls. Now we're going to do the four corners and two sides, and we also have to do the stairs. So the four corners, those aren't stairs. We still have to put the stairs. Those are important. That's a a recognizable feature of the stadium. And I think I'm going to do another video on that because I want to do the scoreboard, and I want to do the staircase. Flip that 90 degrees, and there we go. Then what you want to do is you want to drag the parts to close to where you're going to attach them. It just makes it easier for you. But let's go ahead and attach the sides real quick. And you can see that I'm really short. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go back to that part. And it looks like I forgot to do the dimensions. So we're going to go back and fix the length of that. But first we're going to attach them. And then when we go back and fix the length, it'll automatically update our assembly page as well. Alright, so ran into a problem, and I tried to do some troubleshooting to see why that second level did that. And so you're going to see me walk through a few options on how to troubleshoot that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I maybe selected the wrong face. That's possible. Not 100% sure what happened there, but the end solution is going to be that I have to go into fasten the second level seating by itself. So could not figure out, I don't know if I was selecting the wrong face or whatever, but it did it to me twice. And you'll see this kind of struggled on this. So it did it twice, and it also did the move the goalposts out. So I do have to do a little homework and see why it did that. But I think what I did was decided to go in and do the shortcut way and just go ahead and select that in the assembly, and or select the second level seating in the assembly and just go ahead and fasten it in. That way it you forced it to work. So I don't know why. Either I was selecting the wrong face, or then I can go in and I was like, let's see if I draw a endpoint, extrude it up the back face of these two to connect them, and it still did not work. And I was doing some weird stuff back here. I was selecting the wrong sketch. Yeah, I was not having a good, not my best moment here. And I was like, okay, just bring it all the way back. I was like, okay, what's going on with my extrusion? So I think what I did is I was like, okay, let me redo my extrusion because it wasn't picking up the adjustments on the sketch, and I redid the extrusion and it worked. But then I went back to the assembly thinking I had this thing fused together, and I didn't. It looks like it's connected, so you'd think that it would stay connected, and it doesn't. So that's when I say, okay, I've tried everything, and it still kind of pushes it out. So So that's it. And I was like, you know what? All right, tried everything. So the thing is, I'm going to go in and just do the fasten tool and get it hooked up myself. So I'm going to find the face, and I'm going to go find the center point. Then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to find that, and I'm just going to put it in there. And I was like, okay, my goalpost, they're acting, they have a mind of their own too. So now I had to go in and select the bottom of the goalpost and fasten that to the center of that. So I would select that, and I would go to the bottom of the goalpost, select the bottom of the goalpost, and then find the reselect the center. All right, that's one way to do it. Force it to work. Then I do the same thing with the other one. Don't want a goalpost in the middle of the field. That would be weird. You know, have a goalpost at the 50-yard line. That'd be fun to see what they would do with a 50-yard goalpost at the 50-yard line. That would be an interesting football game to watch. All right, so then we're, I think I'm not sure if I got that or not. I think I did. All right, so I'm going to zoom in and find the bottom of that thing. Make sure you do get the bottom. There we go. Zoom out, see if you got it. Looks like we got it. Click OK, and there it is. All right, so now we're going to do the four corners and kind of drag them in. Close out your dialog boxes. Makes it easier to drag, and then we're going to do drag those pretty much close to where you want them, and just makes it easier. And we might have to rotate a few of these, and then we have to go back to the side and fix that to make that a little longer, because that is supposed to be 8 inches long, and we're not, because we're the four corners, we made that 1 by 1, so it takes up an inch, so 2 inches total. So the length of the stadium is 10 inches, so we're going to make that 8 inches. And did I forget to click OK? Yeah, I forgot to click OK. If you don't click OK, it's not going to adjust the length. So you have to go back to that tab and click the green check, and then it will update your assembly page. Go back there, and it updated it. So now we have to, last thing we have to do is, actually second to last thing, connect these to the corners. So we're going to fasten to the corners, and we're going to rotate, and we want them to have the big box connected to the side and the small box kind of sticking out. And you see what I mean there? So we're going to bring it in close, and you can see I need to rotate that one as well. You rotate that one left, not that way. Oh, I did a 180-degree turn. Okay, so that one's going to have to be 90-degree turn. Okay. All right, so then so we use the fasten tool, and we're going to fasten it to the front edge of the field there. And we got some kind of weird connections, so make sure you get the right one. That looks about right. Flip it around and find the front edge of that. There it is. Click OK. All right, so there's one corner and 3 more to go. All right, so then find your edge. There it is. And then flip it around. Click it. There you go. There we go. Now, almost done with this. And then we're going to go back and we're going to create a sketching plane to cut out some windows in the side of the semicircle left and right structure. Put that on there. Okay, I got one more to go. All right, there we go. All right, so we're also going to want to import a picture of NRG Stadium, the front, and trace out the words on that for the front. All right, so now we're going to do kind of a little procedure. We're going to cut some windows into this thing, and first we're going to shell it out so that the windows will kind of peer into the middle there. And then eventually we want to do some floors inside there. So we'll make some a couple floors, and that's for concession stands and gift shops and stuff like that. So we're going to make a plane, and we're going to first we got to make sure we know what plane this thing is on, and so the back of that is going to be on the top plane, I believe. So you want to make sure you know what plane it's on. I think it's on the top. So if you look, oh, the front plane actually. So we're going to do we're going to create another plane with going along the front plane, and we're going to bring that to the front of the structure, and we're going to trace some windows onto that new plane. All right, so we're going to call that you can call it windows, you can call it whatever you want. Click enter, and so now we have a plane called windows. So we're going to sketch on windows, sketch on the plane, and we're going to draw in some corner rectangles, and we're going to align them using a couple different methods there. And we're just going to draw 3 columns of windows, and we're just going to use the equal tool to make them look the same. If you want to measure these out, you can. All right, so we're going to click on the vertical, and we're going to click equal, and that will make them all look the same height. And then we're going to click the horizontal and make those all equal, and that will make them equal on that side on the length. And then we're going to do, I could have done the mirror, and I didn't. So there's different ways you can do this. I mean, you can sketch them all in and create a plane, and then an intersecting plane, then do the mirror. But I think I got tired at this point, and I was just trying to get through it. All right, so click I'll select one of those, and then I'm going to select these, and then they'll all end up equaling that one on the left. Now we're not aligned vertical, so now what I'm going to do, or the height, we'll do the height first, and then we'll align the vertical. We'll draw a construction line and snap them all to that construction line. All right, so then don't know why I'm doing that. Oh, I'm going to try to make them go vertical from each other, and that did not work. So yeah, that didn't work. So what I ended up doing is I would try everything, and then finally the most obvious thing is going to be my last choice, obviously. So I'm going to do a line construction, and I'm just going to draw it down the left-hand side and snap them all to it. And let's see, where'd the mouse go here? Hopefully my video did not freeze on me there. Alright, so there we go, it's moving now. Alright, so I'm going to draw a line down the left-hand side, make it vertical. There you go, and then we're going to go escape to let go of the line. Then we're just going to zoom in and snap them all in there and make them coincident. And select that one as well, make that coincident. And I think the top one is also off a little bit. Coincident. And I think that, I don't know if that looks okay. Alright, so then go ahead and create third column of windows. And I'm going to go ahead and get smart and draw my line first. Escape to let go of the line. And draw your corner rectangles. And we'll fix them afterwards. Okay, there we go. Almost there. We got about 3 more minutes and we'll have our windows carved in. Alright, so we're going to select that line and then we're going to go that line, that line. We're going to make these equal. Go up there and go equal. And something happened to the middle, the bottom one. So I have to go and fix that. So I'm going to just draw another line. Go from the top down to the bottom, and then we're going to go fix that bottom window. Can't leave it like that. Escape, let go of the line. Zoom in, just like that, and make them coincident. There we go. Alright, so we're going to extrude that, and we're going to remove and carve those windows into that side of that structure, and select the sketch 2, remove, and we're going to draw it through, and we're also going to have to merge with all. We drive it through, and you don't want to go all the way through. There's the holes or the windows, and it'll automatically update your assembly tab. And there you go. So there's that minus the NRG Stadium lettering on the outside and the logo on the outside, and so I will do that in a separate video. And anyway, this has been a fun project, and we're obviously going to put the lettering on the outside, and then we're going to do a billboard on the inside with the score of the game that they played last week that they won. Alright, see you guys later.